Hello, everyone. How are you? Hope you're having an incredible day, and may peace be upon you. And welcome to the show with me, your host, Dr. Izdihar Jamil, to It Takes Courage. And today I have a friend of mine, Mike Stromsoe, who is the best-selling author of The Power of Three. And he's also been a lifelong entrepreneur. And today he's going to be sharing a couple of tips from his book, The Power of Three, and how by implementing the power of three can unleash your greatness, provide clarity, and give you momentum in your career and business. So let's welcome Mike to the stage here. Okay, here we are. Hi, Mike. Welcome to the show.
Dr. Jamil, thank you so much. I'm grateful to be here.
Thank you. We actually had this schedule like earlier on today, but of course, like something happens when you're about to hit the big thing, the next thing in your life, right? So we kind of like, all right, let it go and let's create a different timing for it to facilitate this conversation. Okay, Mike. So now that we're here, thank God, like technicalities all are working. Let's
Right.
go straight into how can people discover the power of three that they have?
Well, it's absolutely that. It's a discovery process. And everybody, most importantly, just so we remind everybody, you all have greatness within you. And the gifts within you, I just want to encourage people continually to identify them and release them and share them with the world. It happened very early on in my business career, but it's actually folded over to my personal life as well. So use the power of three in your personal and your professional life wherever possible. But everybody's got three personal superpowers, talents, or gifts within them that they love to do. To give you a quick example, my three are, and it took me a discovery period over time to identify exactly what they were, but they are marketing, coaching, and sales. So that's my three. And everybody's got three, and the book details on how to discover your three. And my hope and goal is that everybody discovers their three and uses them to impact the world in a greater way.
Fantastic. All right, Mike. So for those of you who haven't got the power of three, it's available on Amazon. So talk us through just one itsy bitsy thing on how can they start to discover their one superpower.
Well, I think it's most important to identify the things that you love to do and the things that you don't love to do or dislike doing. And it's simple as taking a piece of paper and drawing a T-chart, line across horizontally and one vertically. And on one column, you write the things you love to do. And in the other column, you write the things that you don't love to do. Those things you don't love to do, we need to find somebody else to do them who loves to do those things. And then we begin to get clearer on the things that might be within our areas of our personal talents, gifts, or superpowers. That's the beginning point. And the book details on how to take deeper dives using personality assessments and lots of other things to get super clarity.
Brilliant. And if you check out Mike's book, he gave a list, I think it's like over a couple of pages, if I remember, of the things that you like and you don't like. It depends. Some people love marketing, some people don't. Like Mike loves marketing. So he listed out about a couple of pages that you don't have to think about it. You can just run through the book and kind of, oh yeah, I like that one, I don't, I like that one and I don't. So it's like going to quickly give you a mini results on how to identify your superpower. So that's brilliant, Mike. Okay, so the next thing, once you have identified your top three, so yours was marketing, sales, and coaching, how then you use that to impact your career and your business?
Yeah. So once you identify what you do well, what you love to do, the big result is this before I answer your question. You're going to be happier every single day. You're going to be more productive, and your output on what you're doing is going to be much greater simply because you're doing something that you love to do and that you're good at. And that's truly the result of operating within your power of three. But what it means for your business, as an example, is again, you're going to be more productive, you're going to get greater results. For me, ultimately, I've got to execute in the marketing phase to be able to sell more. Okay. Any business that is not getting the results that they want in their business financially and from a production standpoint, probably has some kind of marketing situation they need to improve, right? And then my life was just truly blessed because a lot of people started asking me, well, we've seen you grow exponentially so fast. How did you do it? I said, it's easy. You just do this, this, and this. And then they said, would you teach us? And that's when I started coaching them. So when you're doing something you love, first of all, like Harvey McKay said, you'll never work a day in your life. But secondarily, because of the fact that the passion is evident, people are going to respond to that and they're going to want to be around you, and your opportunities will become unlimited. So your business will grow. And if you take advantage of those opportunities in connecting with the right people, it just doesn't get any better.
Absolutely. And the passion, when you have passion, people are attracted to people who are committed to something, right? When they're passionate, when they're purposeful, when they're intentional, but also when they take action and deliver results. Because if you all talk and what was it? All talk and cheap walk. So basically, if you just talk and don't walk the walk or don't deliver results, like
Right.
nobody's gonna work with you because you can't deliver. So there has to be all those components. Like Mike said, if you're not the person who executes, let's say you're an artist or a creatives love vision things and creative being the talent, but they are horrible at execution. So you need to find someone to do the execution for you. So that's why Mike says let's concentrate on the top three, the superpowers, and then ask someone to take care of the rest. So, Mike, if you probably have more than three, right, superpowers, I think all of us do. But why do we need to concentrate on the top three, or at least the top one or two, versus kind of like embracing all your superpowers?
Well, from a business perspective, most importantly, you cannot scale complexity. You can only scale simplicity. So you want to keep it simple. And if you're trying to juggle too many balls, say more than three, and I have found three is a good number for most people based on all my research and myself especially. Three is something that I can manage, that I can keep organized. When I start adding more and more and more, it becomes complex. It becomes a little bit cloudy. The path to what I want to achieve is not quite as clear. So it's really important to just keep it simple and just do more of that consistently.
Brilliant.
Because, yeah,
Yeah.
as we've talked about, is the number one reason that people don't achieve what they want to achieve personally or professionally, right, is lack of consistency.
Yes, lacks of consistency and action, and and or honoring the word. They say they're going to do something and they
Right.
don't. So hence, no result in a way. And I get it. Sometimes we're in a tough situation or fear or whatever it is that's stopping us. But then there would be the point then where you want to communicate or you want
Right.
to ask for help in that situation. So talking about three, you have something in the book that you call the 3 Ps. Can you say what they are, the 3 Ps, and how it can impact the reader's life?
Absolutely. And the great news is, regardless of your industry, the 3 Ps apply. And I'm also a keynote speaker and get asked to speak in various venues across the country. And I've been told that these 3 Ps apply to any industry, like I said, but I work within the insurance industry. That's where my 40-year career was based. Excellent people, processes, and promotion. Okay. So excellent people, world-class processes and systems, and simply promote the heck out of it. And when you blend those three together within your business, within the right framework, which is again something that we teach, you will grow your business, create wealth, and have more freedom to live life on your own terms.
Brilliant. Okay, let's focus on just one thing because people can obviously read it more in the book. Let's focus on, one of my favorite things is people. So talk us through about people. The way I see people, Mike, I don't feel that we need a lot of people, not just the who, but the super who, the one that can 10x your results. Because I think it was Netflix or one of the top companies that they were in a tricky situation. They're like, we can either hire a group of mediocre programmers to do the job, or we just hire one super programmer who is the equivalent of 10x of that. And we pay them a lot of money so that, because he is like, the super who. So
Yeah.
Netflix chose to go for the super who, the one super who programmer. That is, I don't know how much they paid this person, but he literally 10x their businesses to millions and millions of dollars. So talk us through how people and the breakdown of the things that may be your tips of hiring the right people or getting the vibe for the right people to help you in your business and your career.
I love this question, Is. Thank you so much for asking it because it is all about the people. And when I start working with business owners and leaders, it's the first thing that we start with is the people.
Mhm.
Your business will achieve or not achieve based on its people and the culture. And your goal with your people is to find the best, not the best available. And we call them A players. Okay. So we have a system what we call ARIH, attract, recruit, interview, and hire. And it's my belief that the war for marketplace talent is won at the interviewing table. That's where you find out if they're truly an A player or not. So the question is the answer. But let me share with everybody here, may I, Is?
Yeah, sure.
Because I ran across what I feel is the best definition of an A player that I've seen so far. And so if you have people on your team or you're looking for that super who on your team, as you said, here's what they are and who they are. An A player is a highly competent team member who excels in their position and aligns with your company culture. That culture, very important. They think outside the box, they reach company goals, and help your business succeed. They don't need to be micromanaged. They don't drop balls. They tend to over deliver, and they are great at creating results. Those are the kind of people that you were just describing, Is because once you find somebody like that, all you need to do is lead them, give them the proper training they need, give them the tools and resources they need, and get the heck out of the way. Now, it
Yeah.
is my great encouragement also to make sure you build in some accountability at some point in the progression. But other than that, get out of their way.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like the super who, once you know who your super who, you can't work with someone who is 1x. It just doesn't vibe, Mike.
Right.
Sometimes 1x can be a 2x person because the super who, they're all about creatives and momentum and results. and going like you said, over delivering on things, like obsessing about every single thing and how you can add value, how you can make this happen and that happen. And sometimes their thinking is not the standard way of thinking. Sometimes it's like people do it in 10 steps, they do it in 1 or 2 steps. So
Right.
Mike really nailed down the super who. I actually put like a post out of like, okay, I have an idea for my next book. One is called super who, one is called uh leaders. I forgot, not undeniable leaders but unapologetic leaders. But regardless, people resonate with super who, and it takes one to know one. I feel, Mike, do you feel that's the same thing? Like, you can't recognize a super who unless you're playing in a high vibrational state as well.
100% agree with you. You
Mm-hmm.
attract exactly what you are and who you have become.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Really?
you want to have super who's on your team, you must first improve yourself to that level or beyond. Because these people, these super who's, these A players, they know what they want. And they're just looking for a very special group of people that they can work alongside to go get the same thing.
Exactly. And you touch on the point of alignment, right? Like,
Yes.
everybody has to be on the same page. Like you mentioned, company culture. So they have to align to that vision and believe in it, like have faith in it, because otherwise they're not going to be fighting for the same thing. You're going to have like a bankrupt company in a way, because everybody's on going on different direction. There are not many super who, but there are a few of them, and it takes a little of something to recognize them, because I feel like super who, they they're not very loud. Do you know, like, they're not flashy kind of thing. They're just like, it could be the person walking next to you at the grocery store. They're not loud, they're not flashy, at least in my experience. But man, oh man, if you find them, you're like, oh my god, this thing is off my plate, and they just ran with it. And then you can be the talent or the creative or the dreamer that you need to be, which is, like, my favorite thing is the people.
100% agree.
Awesome. All right, Emma, let's then touch base about, we have a little bit more time. Again, one of my principle, one of my favorite principle is the 80-20 rule. So talk us through what it is very quickly, and how you can, if you tap into this 80-20 rule, it's going to exponentially give you a different income level or performance or results in your career or business.
Well, you touched on exactly what the result will be, and it will be results, and it will be productivity, it will be efficiency. But I originally learned the Pareto principle, which is what it's called, developed in 1894 or 1896 by Vilfredo Pareto, who was an economist. And really, what it is it applies to your power of three. Once you identify what your power of three are, your goal is to be operating within your power of three at least 80% of the time, if not 90, if not 100% of the time. It just depends on how fast you can get there. Because again, when you're operating within your top three, 80, 90, or 100% of the time, you are more productive, you're more efficient, you create greater results consistently, and your team is more balanced. And, I've worked alongside entrepreneurs who have created billion-dollar companies, and that's something that I had up earlier. Let me see if I can find it real quick because I wanted to share it here. I thought it was so vitally important. But these billion-dollar entrepreneurs, they say that it's all about the team. Here it is right here. So here's another gold nugget for everybody. Okay. I asked a $1.4 billion revenue entrepreneur who was my client what the key to his success was. He started from scratch. Okay. I said, what was the one thing? He said, it's simple. When I evaluate all the decisions I've made, there's one common theme, and it's team. Together, everybody achieves more. You can't win if everyone does not have the same vision. Vision. I'm only successful because of the balance that you need within a team. Balance within a team. After all, you're only as good as your weakest link. So that balance that he's talking about is exactly a result of the 80-20 rule. When everybody on your team, as an example, identifies their power of three, and then they're working within their power of three 80-90% of the time, you have that balance within the organization. And really, the key to all of that, producing the results that you're looking for, is leadership.
Yeah, I mean that is so amazing, right? The team, the balance, the harmony, and sometimes I feel like leadership or being the leader or the captain is not about micromanaging or issuing like long emails, but it's about if you have the super who, you don't need long emails. You really don't. You
That's
know,
right.
you have a vision and they will figure out the steps. Sometimes when they figure things out for you, it's better than
Yeah,
you could have, figured it out yourself. And especially you want a team who is going to stick by you through thick and thin. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but more, I feel more downs than ups at sometimes. So you
right.
want a team that's not going to leave you behind when things get tough, but also excel in that moment to take you through to the finish line that's going to hold you accountable. Like Mike and I, we work on this book together, The Power of Three. And it took us, about a year, I believe, and there were multiple checkpoints, challenges along the way, but we got it through because we don't leave people behind, especially when it's a dream that we both have in common with. And we figure out solutions to like, all right, maybe we can do this, try this, do that. Okay, it's not working. We'll try something else till to the point that I remember it was a few days before launch. I'm like, the paperback is not out yet. And we were like, oh my goodness, the Kindle was out. All right, try this one, do this one. And it finally went through. And then it's just, that's what it takes, right, Mike? Someone who's going to stick by you, someone's going to be loyal to the dream, someone's going to be creative, someone who's going to figure things out for you because you're already stressed out enough with everything that's going on.
Grit.
Oh, that's great. It sums up as grit.
You need to have grit in everything you do. But for everybody, let me encourage them as well. I mean, I've been privileged to study with a lot of really smart people over my career. And one of them that comes to mind is Rudy Rudiger
Mm.
from the movie Rudy, right? I mean, his story was, I have a dream of going to play football at Notre Dame, and the movie producers are like, it's too normal. Go away, go away. But he didn't give up. 13 years it took him, I believe. And when he spoke at one of our events live, I got to know him, Rudy, the real Rudy. He said, never giving up lasts for the rest of your life. And I've never forgotten that. And I share that with people because, look, there's going to be days and there's going to be days, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just be encouraged. The past, don't look back unless you plan to go there. And nobody generally plans to go there, especially if it didn't work out that great. Don't look back unless you plan to go there. Learn from it, but don't look back. The present is a gift. Open the gift of today. What a blessing it is. And when things don't go right, all right, get back up. Fall down 7 times, get back up 8, right? And then the
Yes.
future. Oh my gosh, what an incredible future we have before us. If you look at history, of course there's been ups and downs in everything we do, but the team, the balance within an organization, and thank you, Iz, for all the amazing things that you're doing for people, period. Whether it be at TEDx or helping them write books and I know you're doing so many other things. Thank you for all you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much, Mike. It has been a pleasure of connecting with you and helping with your dreams. So, Mike, let's finish with one final wisdom that you can share from the power of three that's going to help them. Something simple they can do today that is going to give them clarity, momentum, or result.
Yeah, that's a great question. Most importantly, we've already talked about it. Take action. Grab a copy of the Power of Three book. It's on Amazon, on audio, audiobook,
Yeah.
Kindle, Audible, Kindle, paperback, and hard copy. But most importantly, find a way to invest in you. Because the greatest result that you will ever get is investing in yourself. So find a way to invest in you and something that you want to get better at to create a certain result. But let's go back to the T chart. That's what everybody can do out of today. We talked about this in the beginning, but I'll repeat it, okay? Get out a blank piece of paper, okay? And I will make this super simple. A T chart is created originally by Ben Franklin. A line down the middle, a line across the top. And on one side, you write down all the things that you love to do. And on the other side, you write down all the things that you don't like to do. That's what you can do starting right now, starting right here, starting today. And that will be the beginning of identifying your power of three. Pick up a copy of the book in whatever form you like. Go through it, and I will lead you through the book on how to make that reality in your life. Most importantly, because you said, Mike, what's the greatest thing that happened because of your power of three? It's the impact in people's lives globally.
Absolutely. It's the impact on the people's life and the continued rippling impact that's going to happen because you use the power of three. So to me to my kids to someone else, it's kind of like a rippling impact that you never would have imagined. Like Mike said, go and grab the book, The Power of Three. You can scan the QR code or it's available from Amazon as well. So you have like a mini Mike with you, guiding you along the way. There's also the Audible version. That's how I read books now. I have Audible subscription. So every month I've got like a couple of credits, and that's how I learn as I drive my kids. I become an unpaid Uber driver after 2:00, driving my kids around. So that's how I learn. I know maybe some of you are financially may not be in the right moment to invest a larger amount, but you can invest about $15 a month or 20, I forgot what it was, on Audible and start learning. Grab Power of Three, grab whatever books that resonate with you as you go on your learning journey. Okay, Mike, let's finish with this. I want you to fill in the blanks. The power of three will create momentum when? So the power of three will create momentum when?
When you identify them and take action.
Fabulous. When you identify them first, we'll discover, identify, and then implement them.
Yes.
That's when the power of three will give you the momentum, quantum leap things, and just gives you, what was it, Mike, that you said, like happiness, freedom,
productivity, efficiency, and greater and bigger results because you're focusing on a smaller, simpler set of activities, which is your power of three.
Brilliant. And simplicity is mastery. It takes a lot to simplify things. So thank you so much, Mike, for joining us on It Takes Courage, a TV show with me, your host, Dr. Izdihar Jamil. If you haven't grabbed The Power of Three, go and grab The Power of Three. It's available on Amazon. And Mike, thank you so much for all that you do. And for those of you who are tuning in, it takes courage to share your voice, especially when you take action, and you'll see unimaginable impact, results, and making a movement in your community.